everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my what's in my Disney parks bag. Now admittedly I have only ever been to Disneyland Paris, but I do feel like you could tailor this to go into any of the parks, and obviously it's just to do with weather, so I will try and touch on like the other parks if something is different for that park. Plus everybody takes different things in the bags anyway, so this is just an idea, but this is what I take to Disneyland Paris when I go. So I also want to apologise because I kind of forgot that the night before fireworks night people set off fireworks, and I am recording these videos at night. Like I've planned to do quite a few videos tonight, and I'm having to deal with fireworks going off every 5 minutes, so if you can hear like banging in the background, I will try not to talk when like really loud ones are going off, and I'll have to edit it out. But if you can hear ones in the far distance, I'm really sorry, there's nothing I can do, and if it's really bad then you'll never see this video because I'll have to re-record it. I'm sorry. Okay, so if you're gonna go to a Disney park, you're gonna need a bag to carry all your stuff in. It does not have to be a Disney bag, of course it doesn't, but it helps, and let's face it, of course it has to be a Disney bag. So I just want to say straight off the bat that I have chronic fatigue syndrome, so I can't actually always carry my own bag around all day. I know that might sound really weird to some people, but I get tired very easily, and carrying a bag, even just with a few things on my back, makes a difference. So on the first trip that I went to Disneyland as an adult, I took this bag, I'll show you. So I actually took a crossover bag. It was a lot smaller and it was just a lot easier to get the odd thing out really quickly. And then my boyfriend took a backpack, and then most of the stuff I'm going to show you was in his backpack, and the things that I needed to get out more often, like my purse or just something like that, was in here with my camera, because I used to have to carry my camera around in a different way to the one I have now. So this is my old camera. It's quite bulky. I didn't have a tripod or anything for it. I just had a strap, so I used to put it in here, and then money would fit in there, and maybe my lipstick and a little brush for my hair, and that was all I would carry in this backpack. And then everything else I'm going to show you I would put in my boyfriend's backpack. So I do recommend either a small crossover bag or a backpack with two like straps. Like these are the most comfortable. I don't think like handbags are very comfortable. Plus I was also able to change over my bag this time from that one, because I didn't need to carry my camera around in the bag. I now have this sort of set up for my camera, so this is getting on to what I carry around now. If you have a camera, if you're going to vlog it, or if you just have a camera because you like to take pictures while you're there, then I kind of made this set up for myself. So I have a tripod so that I can hold it when I'm vlogging, so I can point it at myself. If you're not a vlogger, obviously you don't need this section. And then it also has this part on, so the camera that I'm recording with now slots into here, and then I can vlog, and then I can just put it straight over my shoulder, and then that's my camera sorted. It also comes with a cover, so when I'm not using it I can just pop this cover on like so. Plop. And then my camera is like in there, so if it's raining, or like if I'm on a ride, or if I'm walking and I don't want it to get all scratched, it's in there, and then I can set it up for time lapses. I can hold it, and then I can just put it straight over my shoulder. That was why I was able to change from a different bag this time from last time, because I had to carry the camera around last time in a bag. It was too bulky to carry on a strap. This is very like streamlined, it's very comfortable. So I will leave the link to the tripod and this bag below if anybody else is a vlogger and they have a similar camera to mine, which is the Canon G7X. A lot of people ask me what I vlog on. It's the Canon G7X Mark II. I vlogged on that, and I do all my videos on that now. I am looking to upgrade to a different camera when I'm in the house recording videos like this, but for vlogging this camera is perfect, and I weekly vlog, so I needed to put vlogging before sit down videos because I use that more. But yeah, I'm definitely looking at getting the Canon 70D, I want to say, for in the house. But for vlogging and for Disneyland Paris, that camera, you can't go wrong. This wouldn't have been very good on my last trip because it would have been too much effort to get my camera out of there, like getting my bag off, getting the camera out, and also it would have got probably a bit scratched up in there with the other stuff. If you don't need a camera and don't need to take that into consideration, then obviously, you know, take a crossover or a bag like this. But this is kind of my setup now, whereas on my last trip it was that crossover bag. So as well as my little camera setup and this, and because of the way this was, like having to take everything out with a bit of effort, I had a little like merchandise carrier bag. This is just like what I prefer, by the way. Little carrier bag from Disneyland, like a merchandise bag. Just a small one, just like a little plastic carrier bag. And in that I kept my ears and my autograph book. So they were things that I knew I was going to need out often, and then everything else was in my bag. So if a character was walking past, I would just quickly whip my autograph book out of my little carry bag, and then if a photo opportunity came up, I would just quickly whip my ears out of the little carrier bag and put it on. Now I buy so much merchandise anyway while I'm there that I'm going to be carrying bags anyway, so I may as well put the two things that I might need to just grab straight out, and I also don't want to put in here because my ears would get squished in here, and I don't want like my autograph book being like folded pages and things. So I do tend to put two of the things which I'm going to show you in a little carry bag, and then I have the rest of the stuff I'm going to show you in here, and then I have my camera set up like this. It probably sounds like a lot, but it's like when you think about that's on your back, and then that's like hanging over the shoulder, and then just a little carrier bag. If you buy merchandise anyway, you're going to have a little carrier bag. That tends to be my setup for Disneyland Paris. Like now, it was the last time. However, on the second day I was even too tired for that, so I literally had this, and then I had a little carrier bag with like things that I needed to grab quickly, so the ears and autograph book, and then everything that went into this backpack went into my partner's backpack, and he carried the backpack around because I was too tired the second day because I have chronic fatigue syndrome. So I know this is like really long and probably is like, okay, like, you know, crazy, but I'm just trying to like help people out that also have a disability. Like, do what is comfortable for you. So yeah, a backpack for me, little carrier bag for the things I need to grab quickly. Like in here will be things that I might not need every 5 minutes of the day. I might only need once throughout the day, like plasters or something. We'll get onto all of that. But yeah, as an example, this is the bag I took. If you watch my Disneyland Paris vlogs, you will see that on the first day I was quite happily carrying this around. I had a merchandise bag with like my ears in, and then you'll notice on the second day I'm not carrying a bag other than my little merchandise like carrier bag that had my autograph book in, my ears and my little purse, and then everything else was in my partner's bag. So this is everything I take to Disneyland, and then the bag options I normally have to go through with having chronic fatigue syndrome. I hope that all makes sense and it's not really unnecessary. So in my backpack I'll have this little purse, and then in it I'll have spare batteries for my camera. For Disneyland Paris I tend to take 3 of these for the Canon G7X. I don't feel like I used 3 in one day. It's more of a precaution. You probably need more batteries if you were going to be recording more, especially if you're in Disney World. I feel like there's a lot more to record. Like, I don't know, maybe that's just me. And I also put in here spare memory cards. So as an example, I think in one day I went through almost 2 32GB memory cards in Disneyland Paris, and the most I went through was 2 batteries. So as a 2-day trip, I did charge them up overnight and use 2 batteries again the next day. And then I think I took 4 32GB memory cards, but I only filled like not even 3. So I just take a little one of these bags with all of my camera accessories in them. So also, as a vlogger and a human being who is at Disneyland, I obviously have my phone, and I take pictures on my phone as well as my camera. I do need to upgrade my phone though, because it's rubbish now, and if I went to Disneyland Paris I probably wouldn't take any pictures on it. But while I was there back in June, it wasn't so bad. It hadn't degraded so much. I really need a new phone. Although my phone case is so cool. This is from Handmade Mermaid Treasures, or Mermaid Handmade Treasures, sorry, I get it mixed up. And she sent me this for my last trip in Disneyland Paris, so I'll leave her link below as well. But yeah, you're going to need your phone obviously for emergencies, and then I also took pictures on it, and then some pictures I took on my camera, especially at night. Everybody asks me how I got such amazing pictures like this one or this one. I don't know which side of the screen it is. This camera is amazing in low light situations. I will say now though that Disneyland Paris does not have a Wi-Fi system like in Disney World. So I actually turn my data off, and I can't use the internet at all while I'm in Disneyland Paris. I have to wait to upload all of my pictures onto Instagram and check all of my Instagram and just social media notifications either on a morning while I'm still at the hotel, or on an evening when I've got the hotel Wi-Fi. Most of the hotels will have free Wi-Fi, but while you're in the park there's no Wi-Fi, so bear that in mind or you're going to get charged. I have heard though that Disneyland Paris are planning to install a Wi-Fi system. That's all I know. So the next thing is a lanyard. You can obviously just put your park tickets. Ta-da! I still have my 25 anniversary ones. Yeah, so you can obviously put your park tickets, whoops, there we go. You can obviously put your park tickets in your purse. You will, once you get into the park, you will only need them when you are using them for fast passes. But even though we had a priority pass, which is another thing I'm going to talk about that I'll carry in my bag, even though we had the priority pass, so I didn't actually need these to be at all in the park. I literally just needed these to get in the park. That was it. But I am sad and still wanted to display them. So I have a lanyard and little ticket holder like that, and I just put them in there, and then I just carried them around all day like that, just in case I did need them for the fast pass. And obviously if you don't need a priority pass, then you are going to need your tickets every time you want to use a fast pass or go like back into the park or whatever. So a lanyard is probably a good idea, and a little ticket holder. This lanyard is from Where Seams Come True. I'll leave her link below. It's a Mulan inspired one, so it's just got the Mulan flower there and then Mulan ribbon. And then this little wallet here I got for like 99p on eBay. I will link it below. I get questions all the time where that's from. So you don't have to have an autograph book. You know, if you don't want to meet characters, or if you meet the characters and you don't want to get autographs, obviously you don't have to have an autograph book. But this is one of the things I carry in my bag, and a pen. I like to get the autograph books that have like the little slot on there so that the pen just slides on and off, so that I'm not rooting around for the pen as well, because that can be a nightmare. Also, when I was saying that I carry some things in a little carry bag so it's quick to get out, this is one of those. This doesn't really go in my backpack, this goes in my little like carrier bag from one of the stores, because if a character walks past you, you whip that autograph book out and you get that autograph, and plus I don't want it to get all messed up in my backpack. So this is one of the things that I carry around in my little carry bag, just because I need it quicker sometimes, and it's lighter to carry around as well. When my boyfriend is carrying the rucksack, I can just carry this around in a few little things. So yeah, you just can get these in the park. This is a 25th anniversary one. It does have autographs in it, but I haven't got pictures in it yet, because I haven't managed to do that yet. So I do recommend that you try and get one of these as soon as you go into the park, because suddenly you might find yourself meeting characters and then you don't have an autograph book. So yeah, try and get one of these as soon as you can if you want to get autographs. If I remember rightly, it was around 13 euros and the pen was around 4 euros. So the next thing is obviously ears. I carry around about 2 to 3 pairs of ears. So when I was saying that I carry things in the carrier bag, once again, this is one of the things that goes in the carrier bag. Most people will probably stick these on their head all day. I have one of those heads that cannot do that. I will literally put these on for pictures and then take them off. I have learned from the past that if I leave these on all day, I will have the worst migraine ever. So I literally put these on for pictures or meeting characters, and then I'll put them in the little carry bag. It'll get squished, so I don't put it in my backpack. And I normally carry 2 to 3 pairs of ears, because I'm very lucky and I get sent ears from girls on Etsy who make the ears like unique customized ones. Obviously I'm going to take pictures of them in the parks and different places, different ears. So yeah, I do tend to take 2 to 3 pairs of ears a day. I mean, they're lightweight. You just stuff them in the carrier bag with the autograph book, and then everything else just goes in your backpack. This is just me, by the way. Most people probably just wear these on the head or put them back in the backpack. I don't know. Yeah, this is a pair of DisneyLand Paris ones. I thought I'd just show this as an example if you don't want to get Etsy ears, or you just want to get ears when you get to the park. These ones I'm pretty sure are still available. I got these last September actually. I didn't get any ears when I went in June because I had quite a few pairs sent from lovely girls on Etsy, so I don't have any ears to show you at the minute from Hannah or Luby, because they are all away in my suitcase getting ready to be hung on the wall. But I will put the links to both of their ear pages below. It's Hannah Marie Magic on Etsy and Luby and Lola on Etsy. That's where I get all my ears from, and then this is my one pair of DisneyLand Paris ones. I don't really need to take my big purse that I use over here in the UK with everything in. You know, you're at Disneyland, you don't need your Boots Advantage card, you don't need your Subway card. Like, I change everything over into a smaller purse, so it's just easier for me to use. All I will have in here is my bank card, my euros, and a bit of change. I just try to make my purse smaller so it's easier to carry around, it's not as heavy, and you don't need all those important things, because if you lose your purse in Disneyland Paris, that ain't good, you know what I mean? So I switch everything over in my purse over to a smaller little purse like this. Do take a charged like memory charger phone thing, whatever it's called, just in case my phone dies. Obviously you might still need your phone for an emergency or whatever, so I take a charger in my bag as well. So in Disney World you probably don't need to carry around one of these, because they have an amazing system where you buy one of these for around 30 euros. You use it all day in the park, and then when it dies they have machines where you just pop it back in and then they spit out a new freshly charged one for you. It's not extra price or anything, like you don't have to pay money for the new charged one. It's just part of the way it works. So yeah, like every time you run your charger down, you just pop it back in the machine and they pop you out a new charged one. And you can do that for the whole time you're there, like on your trip. And then at the end of the trip, as far as I'm aware, you get to just take it home as a charger, and then you just charge it yourself whenever you want to use it. I think that's a brilliant idea. So if you're in Disney World, I recommend looking at that rather than taking your own, because then they just keep charging it back up for you. But if you're in Disneyland Paris and you're going to be on your phone a lot, then I take one of these in my bag. So the next thing I take is painkillers. Woo! Disneyland Paris is a very long and tiring day. I don't take full boxes. I'll probably take these in my suitcase, and then I'll take like a slide out or like whatever you call it, like one of the things out. What? I don't even know what they're called. So if I open this, there's like 2 sheets. I would take out one of the sheets of ibuprofen, one of the sheets of paracetamol, whatever painkillers you want to take, however much pain you think you're going to be in. I get headaches, I get ill, I get tired, I get muscle pain, I have ME. So I take painkillers. I tend to take paracetamol and ibuprofen, and I think every trip I've been on I have ended up taking them. Normally on the first day I'm worst, and then the second day I end up taking it more easy because I'm so tired and I don't tend to need the painkillers as much the second day. But the first day, yeah, I take painkillers, so these would be in my backpack. There's fireworks going off in the distance, there's literally nothing I can do about it, so I hope it's not annoying too much. But I also take a forehead rub. I get headaches every time I've gone to Disneyland. As an adult, I've got a headache. The first time I went back in September with my partner, I've been when I was younger as well, but when I went with my partner in September, I got the world's worst headache. I was tired, hot, had been wearing ears too long, and then the second time I was just tired and still got a headache, and then also had one on the second day. It doesn't ruin my day, like I don't think back and think, oh, I had a headache all day. Like, it's just the way I am, I'm used to it. But yeah, so I always take forehead rub because this just, it doesn't take my headaches away, but it just really helps distract you. It's a nice breeze on your head when you're walking around. It doesn't take your makeup off. It's nice in the cold or the heat. It's like a nice like tingly on your head. So yeah, I do recommend forehead rub, and I was rubbing this stuff on my head most of the first day, and it's just nice. So before I get into the park, even if I'm wearing the world's most comfortable shoes in the world, I put plasters around my heel, because I tell you now, you can be wearing the world's most comfortable shoes in the world. By the end of the day, your feet will be killing, and if you've only took one pair of shoes and you're going to be walking around the next day, you'll probably find that those shoes are rubbing in places that they never rubbed before. So I recommend putting on plasters on the back of your heels or wherever you would ever get sore feet from shoes before you even start walking around. And even if they don't hurt your feet, I still do it. So as soon as I leave to get onto the bus, like to take me to the park, I already have these on my feet, and then it just stops them from hurting that little bit extra. And then the next day as well, I do it again. I tend to like the blister plasters, like the proper ones. They work really well. I used them on the last trip and my feet didn't hurt at all, other than being tired. I always wear really comfortable shoes. Like honestly, if you're going to Disneyland and you think, oh, I'm going to wear these fabulous shoes, they kind of hurt my feet a little bit, but they look amazing, don't do it. Your feet will hurt in comfortable shoes. It's a long, tiring day. You will walk around a lot. I think on the first day, we all did, back in June, 25,000 steps in one day. Like, it's a long day. Like, be comfortable, take plasters, and I also carry some around with me as well in case the ones on my feet have come off and I want to put extra ones on if they're hurting somewhere else. Another thing I carry is hand gel, like sanitizing hand gel, antibacterial hand gel, whatever you want to call it, because it's Disneyland and there's lots of people and children and germs and blah. So yeah, I'm just a bit of a germ freak like that, so I carry this around. I'm not saying I use it every 5 minutes, but it definitely helps. So a really important thing that I always recommend and I always take is a bottle of water, but I leave it in my bag and fill my water up. Every time I go past a fountain, I drink more water than I need to. I would rather be going to the loo needing to pee all the time than getting any more worse of a headache than I already get when I'm at Disneyland. Even in the winter and the cold, drink water. The fountains are there. I spoke about this in my Disneyland Paris 15 tips video. I get icky tummies from drinking funny water, and I drank out of the fountains that are around the park and I didn't get a bad stomach. So I do recommend trying it because it's cheaper than paying for like €3 for every bottle of water, and just keep reusing the same bottle. Loads of people said to me, you're not allowed to take bottles in, you're not allowed to take your own water and food in. Yes you are. I've always done it and I've had my bag searched and I've had no problems. Take a bottle in, even if it doesn't have any water in, and fill it up when you get there. Keep filling it up through the day, take it back the next day. Your bottle will be your best friend. If you want to get a nice fancy bottle, if you want to buy one when you're there, do it. I just take any old bottle from whatever I've bought in the hotel or whatever the night before, and then just keep filling it up. I take this kind of size in my bag, and my partner takes like a massive one. The fountains are there for a reason, and they were fine for me, so hopefully they'll be okay for you. So take snacks. If you are planning on buying all of your food and don't care how much money you spend, then go for it. But if you are plant-based, you don't eat meat or dairy, or you have an allergy, take snacks. Special dietary requirements like me and my partner do, it can be quite hard. I'm going to do a video, I promise I'm going to do a video on eating plant-based at Disneyland Paris. I just haven't got around to it yet. But me and my partner take snacks because there's just less for us to eat there. And obviously if you're going to get hungry and things and you stood in the middle of the queue, like, I get headaches, like if I get hungry, like I just do. I eat 3 times a day with snacks, probably supper as well. I always have to have dessert. Like I eat like a horse, I'm not joking, I eat. So we make like loads of cereal bars to take. It's fine to take them into the park, they honestly don't care. For some reason the camera keeps focusing on Minnie rather than me, so if at any point this video has been like really out of sync with like my face, then I apologise. Bad camera, stop looking at Minnie. It thinks Minnie is like the center of this video. So I take a little bit of makeup into the parks in my bag with me, so I'll only take like 3-4 items maximum. So what I tend to take is a brush with a mirror, so if I need to brush my hair or if I need a mirror, a brush to put like blot down my face if my face is oily. I have a really oily face, so I do want to blot my face down as the day goes on, but I try to use a good primer so I don't need to do it too much. I tend to have my makeup down to a T now when it comes to going to Disneyland Paris. Like I've had acne a long time, I kind of know what works for my face. All I tend to need to take during the day is a brush to blot down, a lipstick, like just to like top up through the day. I haven't got one at hand, but a lipstick, and then that's kind of all I take makeup wise. I really can't see how my makeup would hold up in Disney Florida because I've never been before, and apparently it's like insane heat and your makeup just melts off your face. So I'm yet to experience that, but I still don't think I would take any more makeup than that. Like if it was melting off my face, I'd just like blot it down. So the only other thing I would take kind of like beauty wise would be spare bobbles and like bobby pins to clip my hair out my face. You'll probably notice on my vlogs, my last 2 Disneyland Paris vlogs, that when I go to Disneyland I do my hair in a wavy kind of beach way. My hair, if I do my hair like that, can stay like that for like a good week without really needing washed. It still just looks like it did the first day I did it, and then it just means that I can not worry about having to brush it, not having to do anything with it. I normally wear it down the first day and then tie it back the second day. I do have a tutorial on how I did that like hair look. It's how I always wear my hair for the parks. Probably will be how I always wear my hair for the parks. It's just really easy. I don't have to like wash my hair when I get in on a night and I'm too tired, and I don't really have to do anything with it other than tie it back if it's too hot or something. But if you want to know how I do my hair for Disneyland, then go and check out my beachy wavy mermaid hair tutorial. So if it's very hot in Disneyland Paris or Disney World, wherever you are, I recommend taking some sunglasses. I do take a pair of sunglasses and I take them in the flattest bag I can, so it's space saving. So just a little glasses case and glasses, because if they're in your bag you don't want them getting like scratched and things. But don't be taking like a big hard shell case, because then it's just going to take up all your room in your bag. So I don't really tend to burn. I guess I'm just lucky like that. Like sometimes I have burned, but I don't really tend to burn. But I do take like a sun cream. My partner burns like crazy, so we'll probably put a sun cream in my bag. I wouldn't take the aftercare with us to the park, I'd just take the sun cream. So yeah, I'll probably put a bit on before I go, and then that would be all I need for the day. But my boyfriend would probably need a bit more, so I take a little sun cream in my bag. And if it's not hot and it's freezing cold, then I would recommend like hat, scarf and gloves, but they would be on me if like they wouldn't be in my bag. But still, like if you go inside and you want to take them off, put them in your bag. So if it's cold, hat, scarf and gloves, and if it's hot, sun cream and glasses. Another thing that I might have in my bag if I was in Florida and there for like 2 weeks is that I might get like one of the ponchos. But when I went to Paris, it did rain, but it was really warm still because it was June, and I didn't want to spend 10 euros on a poncho when I could spend 10 euros on a pin. So another thing that you could end up with in your bag is like a poncho, so think like weather-wise. And then another thing that I take if it's really hot, last September when we went, it was boiling Disneyland Paris, and if you're in Florida this will probably apply to you as well. I took a couple of wipes out of this, put them into a sandwich like freezable bag, squished them down really small, like tied it tight, and they stayed wet all day, and it was just a tiny little thing. And I put them in my bag, and then if it's really hot you can like wipe yourself down and like cool yourself down and just freshen up a little bit. Obviously if it's winter you don't need to do that, but in Florida that might be nice. Or if it's really hot and you don't mind, take one of these little bags. These are from Primark, they're like £1. And yeah, so wet wipes. I've used them a few times when I've been in the park, but it just depends how hot it is and things. I'm sorry if the angle has ever so slightly changed, but I've just remembered one other thing that I would put in my bag. So this is actually Sarah in the future, and I'll take you back to the rest of the video in a second. Honestly, what am I like? But one other thing that I would have in my bag would be my priority pass. So if you have a disability, or if you are pregnant, or a lot of different things, to be honest, the priority passes cover, then you can get the priority pass, which entitles you to different things to help you around the park. So for instance, I have ME, so I can't stand for too long or walk around too much, which obviously when you're at Disneyland Paris is definitely something that happens a lot. So I have to have the right evidence to get that pass, and then once I have the pass, it means that I don't have to queue for rides or in restaurants for as long, and I can take up to 4 people on the rides with me. So different disabilities get different things with the pass. Don't think that everybody who gets the pass gets like the same thing. For more information on the priority pass, please do go and check out the Disneyland website. I will link it below, or I do go into a bit more detail on my 15 tips for Disneyland Paris video. So I'm really sorry, like I don't want to come across as horrible or anything, but I do not know what different disabilities need. Like I don't work for Disney, I'm not an expert on the priority pass. All I know is what I needed to get the pass, but I will link below what I used to find out what evidence I need. It's on the Disneyland Paris website. It was like a PDF download, so I will leave the link to that below, so please go and check that out if you think you're entitled to the pass. But in my bag I will be carrying the priority pass and also my evidence in case I lost the pass and I needed to go and get a new one. And one more thing I completely forgot to mention, because I don't have it here with me to remind me, is a passport. I always carry my passport with me in the park. One, because I don't feel safe leaving it in the hotel room, and two, if you're in Florida you need 2 types of evidence to say that you're over 21. A photocopy I think is okay, so like a driving license and a passport. So maybe look into that if you go into Florida and you need like evidence to be able to drink alcohol in the parks. But mine, like I didn't carry my passport around in Paris for that reason. I carried mine around because I didn't feel safe leaving it in the hotel. So that's another thing I would have in my Disney park bag. So back to Sarah in the past now, and back to the rest of the video. So I'm pretty sure that that is everything that I would take in my Disneyland Paris or Disney parks bag. Like I said, I've only been to Paris, but I've tried to adjust it so that if there's different like weather conditions, and I've also tried to talk about the different bags I end up taking and where I carry things, because I have chronic fatigue syndrome. But just because I have chronic fatigue syndrome and you don't, doesn't mean you might not benefit from like putting a couple of things in a carrier bag to grab them out easier and stuff. So just whatever works for you. But that is everything I would take to Disneyland Paris. I'm sorry if the camera was ever out of focus, because for some reason it keeps focusing on Minnie. Stop it, camera. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel for more Disney videos. I promise they're coming, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.